everybody. What's up?
Hey,
how are you guys? Hi, Chimney. Welcome. How's everything?
Yep, everything's going good. Pretty excited for
Awesome.
this event.
Me too. So are we live on YouTube? Yay! Okay, so let's do an introduction because maybe people on YouTube have no idea what the Webflow Party is. So welcome YouTube people. This is the Webflow Party. We are a community of web designers, UX designers, and developers trying to be better at what we do every day. So every week we do what they're called parties, which is this space right here. And we invite people from the community to teach us their ways, their processes. We chat. And then sometimes after the party, we have a little after party where we hang out, talk, and just have a little bit of fun. So today we have the amazing Chinmay. How do I pronounce it?
Chinmay.
Chinmay. Okay.
Yep.
So Chimney did a incredible portfolio. What was it, like 2 weeks ago?
Yep. 3 weeks almost.
Yeah. So he shared it on Twitter, and it was just such an incredible work that we thought, why not bring him to the Webflow Party so he can show us how he built it. So we're going to build a little section there. And then we'll just ask questions and he can just show a little bit more of himself. We can meet him because we've been really excited about that. So we usually wait until like 1:05 for everybody to be here. Obviously we're on Twitter, on YouTube too, so there will be people there. So for now, Chimney, tell me, how's the week? How are you feeling?
Yep, I'm feeling very excited, and the week was really awesome. I have joined an agency. I'm working with them on some really cool 3D stuff as well. Also, I partnered with a few of my friends and taking on a freelance projects in my free time.
That's awesome. Very happy for you. So have you been getting more work because of that portfolio?
Yep, almost I got around 15-20 agencies approaching me, and my inbox is literally filled with projects. I'm continuously talking with them, and
That's incredible. Yeah, I think that's so important to highlight because a lot of people, for example, come to me about questions of, how can I get more work? And I think that a lot of times I tell them, like, you need that one project that will literally change it for you, because clients will look at that project and will want the same thing.
Yep.
So you're the proof of that, you know?
That is pretty much actually what happened with me.
Yeah, that's incredible. So happy for you. How long did it take you to build it?
I was back into Webflow after a break of 1 year. So I took some time to, it was my first project after a break of 1 year. So I took some time to, relearn some stuffs of 3D design, and, I spent few days to look at what are the trends that are going on and what all courses that have been, in the community, going around the community. I found Jomo's really cool Webflow course. I took that. Yep, and practice some 3D as well, and then I kind of mixed animation, 3D design, and Webflow, and spent around 2 months. It took me around 2 months to gather everything and build it out on Webflow.
Wow, 2 months. That's really not a long time.
Yeah, some days, some days I just work for 1 hour, 2 hours, and kind of figuring things in my brain and playing around stuff. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. And so before you were like tell me more about like before Webflow.
Yeah, okay. So when I was in my college, I shared a room with of my few seniors, and they were into the freelancing, web dev, and everything. So I really got interested in these remote work culture and freelancing stuff. So I started exploring different things. In my college, I chose computer science and honors. So with regular studies, we had to choose one subject every semester. So I picked up Blender, 3D graphics, game design, and Photoshop, video editing, everything. So I kind of spent 6 months on everything and tried to learn few of the things and tried to see like which thing is really exciting to me. And then I stumbled upon design. So I started practicing UX design and client projects, working on dashboards, app design. That is back in 2019. Yeah, and then I got introduced to Webflow through Ren Segal, a YouTube channel, Flux Academy. So I kind
Oh, I think his internet is not that good. Let's see. I think your internet is coming in and out. Let's hope that it stays good.
okay.
Okay, so you were saying?
Yeah, I got introduced to Webflow from Ren Segal's YouTube channel, Flux Academy.
From who?
So Ren Segal, Flux Academy.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I thought like it will be a really helpful, powerful tool for me as a designer. So I started exploring Webflow too. So
Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh no, he dropped off. Okay, so before he comes, how has the week been, you guys? Diego, Eric. Diego, I saw your metrics.
Oh yeah,
Congrats.
Yeah. 10K second month in a row. Hope it stays
Yay!
that way. Yeah.
So happy for you.
Yeah, it's been a long journey, but it's good to have those results, and I hope to stay there. But yeah, things are good. They're really good. I was really afraid. Well, I think all of us are afraid of like suddenly not having projects and your revenue on a month just is like near to zero. But like every time I think that the projects are starting to clear out, and I started thinking, okay, I need to go look for more projects. Then some partners come to me and say, I have a new project for you. That's being crazy. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that level of work. Like the volume of work is always there, and that's great.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
That's amazing. And little by little, you'll get more and more until you kind of have to make the decision. Do I want to put give clients away, or should I help find people to help me? And then you end up opening a little agency.
Yeah, it's getting even harder these days. Like to choose when to say no.
I know.
I don't have any plans right now to open an agency, but maybe in the future. Let's see.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, Chimney. Well, we're back. So let's get into it. I already gave you facilitator access, so you can go ahead and share your screen and show us what we're going to build today.
Yeah. 1 second.
Okay.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so so this is what I'm going to build, the hero section of the portfolio. So a little scrolling machine here. The door opens and
share that link in the chat so we can see it, from our computers, because the screen share doesn't really make it justice, Oh, Chimney, you have a lot of friends on YouTube. Nishal, Abhinav, Narendra, Danam, all say hey, and that they're so excited.
Yeah. Those are my
Hi,
school
guys.
friends.
Oh, you have it open. How cool.
Yeah, so I dropped the link, which is I'm gonna rebuild it.
Yeah, so this is part of the portfolio that he built.
The hero section of it.
Yeah, the hero section. And then that little illustration of the guy, which is super cool, which I assume it's you, right?
Yep, I tried to figure something out for myself.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it. I want to see how you built this.
Okay, so I have used Timothy Rex's wizardry system for it. So back then, before when I used to learn Webflow, there wasn't client first from FinSuite, so I haven't really got much to play around with. So I continued with what I already knew. That was yeah, Timothy Rex's wizardry system. So I'm continuing with that.
So you started with Timothy Rick's fluidity.
Yeah.
And now,
Wizardry,
but now you're using client first.
For this project, I'm currently using Wizardry as well, because it is a little complex and the layouts are pretty tricky to. I'm not that experienced with FinSuite to pull this layout with that, so I'm continuing with Wizardry for this as well.
Okay, I would suggest removing that window from there because we're not going to be able to see the styling.
All right.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Everybody's
so
here.
this was the. So this was the link that I said. So I will be referring to this project for the measurements and everything. So I'll be rebuilding it there.
Okay.
So this was a little code from the Wizardry method that lets you use M instead of pixels. So it will kind of keep everything responsive.
So what are we dropping first? The embedded code. Okay.
Yeah. Giving the body.
So for those of you that don't know, while you do that, Timothy Ricks has a fluidity technique that if you set the body text size to one viewport width, and then you set your text inside of the blocks that you're going to be adding text on your project to EMs, it'll become super fluid as you resize the screen. So if you haven't checked that tutorial, I would definitely recommend, Eric, if you can drop it in the YouTube chat for the guys over there that maybe don't know about it. Okay, so what are we doing now?
Yeah, I'm laying out the structure here. I've put a section and then I'm putting the container. And I've given the dark color to the body, so it will have the dark color throughout the page. So container, and then I'm going to put the wrapper for the hero section. Do that, and then I think I need to upload the fonts as well.
You need to what?
So for this project, I'm using I need to upload the fonts.
Where did you get that font?
I think I got that from the Hours website. They have a section where they regularly put beautiful fonts that is available for free and for paid as well. So I kind of got it from there.
Which one's the site?
Awards.
Mm. That is so crazy that how you came up with that design. Like, it's so cool. Guys, if you want to unmute yourselves and talk or ask questions, you're more than welcome to. So it's called Glorify.
Yeah, Glorify, and it is available on Envato Market, I guess. So I have a membership on that, so I downloaded it from there.
Mm-hmm. So Doug asks, great work, Chimney. What was the reason to go with wizardry versus client first?
Yeah, the first thing was I wasn't very familiar with client first, but the other reason I also chose wizardry was the complex. The structure is a little complex, and the layouts it contains a lot of absolute positions and a lot of Z indexes. So the composition is pretty important to the design to look good. So that was the reason I thought, like, when I use M as an measurement unit. So I thought everything would be really look better on all the screen sizes and make it responsive on different devices. So I wasn't. I think Finsuit also has a fluidity system, but haven't explored it yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tim came out with that tutorial way before client first, I think. So everybody was using only that, but now people use both.
Client first, yeah. I think most of the professional, I think the client projects, the people use Finsuit client first for that, but for very artsy project and funky projects or portfolios, I find people using Wizardry for that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what are we dropping now? Walk us through the process.
Yeah, so I have three different sections here, three different parts here. So this is the main block, and this is another block, and I have the navbar here. So I'm kind of putting three parts inside the hero wrap. So it kind of, I'm giving a flex, so it will kind of divide itself on the V4 height. So let me show that.
Oh, okay. You divided them in three.
Yeah.
Guys, we're sorry that we're not talking through the whole thing, but this is deep focus work.
Yeah, so I'm giving it a flex vertical, and I'm giving a container height of 180 viewport height. So then later we can add a scroll interaction to it.
Oh, okay. You're making that like basically the whole page.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the hero section, but the other section that I add, we have another different height for that as well.
Mm.
So we have the hero top and hero top.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm putting each line of them into a different container. So I have a different wrapper for this creative one, and then another one for designer, and another one for Webflow dev. So that goes into the middle part. So we have three different lines, wrappers for each of the line, and then I'm going to put this thing. So we will have a diamond video rotating here. So we will have one wrapper for this as well, another one for this, and another for this creative text here. So I will be putting 3 different
And it-
div blocks.
And in mobile, that's going to stack on top of each other, right?
Yeah.
But
I
just so you guys know, this is only for desktop. This version we're doing here. So don't go all crazy. It's like, it's not mobile responsive.
this one is for the diamond video, and then we have one more for the other video as well, and then one more for the text in there.
Mhm.
I will give the body the glorified text for one moment. Yeah. So I will put a heading there, and the H1 will be one H1 heading, and then we have 10.63 m.
So what are we doing?
I'm done putting the text this in the box. So
Oh no, his internet got disconnected again. Sorry, guys. So let's see. Okay, he's back.
yeah, I think my connection dropped.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, we're back. I love how you like. I have a question about this actually.
Yep.
Why didn't you use a grid?
For this one,
Well, for the whole hero. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So when I first tried to do this, so I thought I would give little breaks between 3 lines, and I wanted it to spread acrossly with even heights. Yeah. So for that reason, I went with flexbox here, so it will be fluid on the viewport height as well. So, but later I came to know that it wouldn't look with a bigger gap in between these elements. So I kind of stick with the default setting of flexbox.
yeah. I feel like this is, you don't have to pay attention to me, you keep going, but for everybody else, like, I feel like there is always that question, like, when do I use grid? When do I use flexbox? My first thought would have been, this is a flexbox, a grid. So interesting to see how you build this, you know?
So now I'm putting the
diamond bid grab.
background. I'm using the background video here to put up those moving diamonds. And then, so I have to
I think Rahul says Team Flexbox. Honestly, me too. Grid can get a little weird sometimes. And then Robert says, I think Flexbox when I want the layout, the contents of a container. I think Grid when I want to lay out containers on a screen. I don't know if that's the proper way to think of it, but it's been working for me. Okay, so Flexbox when I want to lay out the contents of a container, and Grid when I want to lay out the contents on a screen. That's an interesting way to think about it. I feel like for me, I use Grid when I want things to be like off from each other. Like in a grid type of way, which makes sense. But I'm like Brie, I like both. Guys, I want you to unmute yourselves. I'm talking by myself.
I use a lot of Flexbox in the past, but I'm finding myself today for my current project using almost 100% Grid, especially because of the gap. I know the Flexbox has the gap property, but the gap property doesn't work well on Safari, on different versions of Safari. So support is not there yet. So most of the time I just use Grid and like apply for each of the columns. I apply just an auto column size, and it works well. I probably just use Flexbox when I had to have like two parts of the content on the edges of a container. So I just use Flexbox with space between. That's it, I think. Even for buttons, I've been using Grid when I need to include icons.
Really?
Like that. Yep.
Oh, damn. I just use Flex for that. Why would you use Grid for that? Because
of the gap. The gap property works well on all browsers, while the gap property with Flexbox, it doesn't work for all browsers and all versions of browsers. Well, it works for all browsers except Safari, right? Safari is the new Internet Explorer. It's a nightmare.
Man, what a nightmare. One time I finished a project for a client that was huge. Well, at that time for me, it was huge. And when we launched it, the beta launch, like everybody was saying that some pages were completely destroyed because of the freaking Grid. So I had to change everything to Flex. Everything that had Grid. It was such a headache. So just so you guys know, that is a problem.
Yeah, always test your website before you even show to your client.
Yeah. Do you guys have a way to test in different browsers?
Yeah, for testing I use Lambda Test. Have you ever heard about it? Lambda Test browser stack?
No.
Yeah, it's a great service. Like it's a collection of virtual and real machines with different configurations, like operational systems, browsers, versions of those browsers. So you can, for example, test your website on an iPhone 7 with a specific version of Safari, and
can you send that link there?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll send both for you guys. I use Lambda Test because it's cheaper, and I think it's more user friendly. But Browser Stack is pretty good as well.
Browser Stack. Yeah, I want to start introducing that on my agency because it's sometimes, it's like annoying for clients to be like, hey, it doesn't look good here or there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ben has already pasted Browser Stack. Let me just paste Lambda Test.
Super tool. Thank you for that tip. Okay, so what are we doing now, Chimney?
Yeah, I'm just filling up these rows. So I'm putting I'm currently building this the array of spheres here. So that will be animating when we are uh, making interaction out of it. So I'm currently building that. So I made a in this part made a sphere wrap, and inside that I put a sphere track that will contain all those spheres, and that way we'll be animating the track when we'll be putting interaction to that.
Okay. So it's gonna be overflow hidden and then
Yeah, overflow hidden, and then yeah, so it is overflow hidden, and we are just putting the move interaction here when the page loads. So here we have the first key frame that is 0M, and when in this thing on the second part we are just trying to mesh the position. You can see
Mhm.
that moves. So I found it 21.7 is exactly where it lays. So I gave 2.5 seconds for that, for the interaction to carry, and then again in the last step I got that this circle to back to the front part where we had 0.
Mhm.
So all three lies there, and this wouldn't take any time to
Duration.
duration. So it will so it will just jump onto the position that it had started. So that is and I have to
And
make it.
also, don't add an easing to when you're doing that animation. I did
Yeah,
once that and it just messed it up.
yeah. I thought like I had in my actual one I had this thing so available for that, so it was having a linear motion. So I thought to make it little different I gave a easing to that, and
Mhm.
I used the inward point, so that will at a force it will come and it
Mhm.
will slow down towards the end, and again it will
Mhm.
gradually slowly start out, and it will stop slowly as well. So I used
Oh,
in out point for that, and this is how it goes.
oh, you did use it there. Okay, cool.
Uh,
I
so,
like it.
so it is not a very linear. So when the page loads here, when the page loads, you can see it just stops slowly and then again continues that.
Love it. Lauren, yes. So sometimes grid to learn can be a little bit tough, but it's just practice. You know what I mean? Like you start learning about manual movements inside of each box, inside of grid. And then like you can specify like which box goes where by adding the number exactly of the grid box. So it's just a little bit of work, but once you understand that it use it more, it's very powerful. So I would recommend keep practicing. But for yeah, like if you need to do something specifically, you can always use Flex. And Emilia asks, what do you do to fix the site when it's really messed up in one browser? So honestly, fix it. What do you do? Like fix it. Um, I feel like it's just testing and testing and then finding sometimes it's like, code problems. It's really depending on the problem, right?
Yeah.
It's like
One
fixing up,
example.
I think, for developers.
Yeah. Well, weird example. I was working on a website, Creator Lab website, and I have some circle gradients in the background with a blur effect, and I animate those things. And it was working perfectly with the interactions and all of that. It was like an SVG with a blur effect, a filter blur effect, and it was working perfect. But it was breaking Safari, completely
Mm.
breaking Safari. Like Safari just froze. Didn't like the blur effect. Didn't like the gradients with the blur effect. and the motion stuff. So I had to do some trial and error, spend quite some time to figure out a solution, and I end up using JPEGs for the circles with the blur effect and the gradients. Like simple JPEGs. That was working. So it all
Really?
depends. Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
whole
exactly.
transformation. Yeah.
It really depends on the browser. Everything, it's literally a black box. You can find anything in there, and you have to go as you go.
Yeah.
Robert says it really helps to learn grid, writing some actual HTML and CSS. There are lots of good tutorials out there. If anybody has tutorials that she can use for that, that would be great.
Yeah, I actually was using a tool to show how to build. It's a generator, grid generator, and it's pretty interesting because it teaches you how to understand the code, and you can visually see what's going on at the same time. Let me just find it.
Hey guys, Diego, I just wanted to let you know that you could use at support, and you just have to write out the code, the CSS code, in the embed to control the blur. I've been testing it out. It's not supported on Firefox, so you just add like a second condition to that CSS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be a solution.
Yeah, you could test actually. I found that on the Apple site. If you open the Apple site on Safari or Chrome, you can see the navigation has a blur effect. When you go to Firefox, it has a 90 or 70% transparency of the black color on a nav bar because it doesn't support the blur effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good idea, good strategy. Use ad support. I'll think about that the next time I find a weird stuff going on, just like that blur stuff on Safari.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've already used it like twice. It works really well.
Yeah, thanks for
that. Happened to me or to us when we finished building the Paradigm site, the one that has that locomotive that looks like super 3D. We have a preloader there with gradients and a Lottie in the back. And on Safari, it was a square, but on desktop, it was just blurred. So it wasn't recognizing the blur effect. Super annoying. Okay, we have a question from Rahul Chimney. I know you're only working on desktop today, but what was your process for mobile? Did you design for desktop first and then think about mobile, or did you do it the other way around? I'm always curious for more design sites like this.
Yeah. Okay. So I had that in mind when I was designing the website in Figma. So I kind of planned it out on Figma, but my main focus on a desktop because on mobile you can't really do much animation and interactions. So my real focus was on a desktop person. But on mobile, I kind of adjusted to make it look a little better. But I kind of removed most of the interactions from mobile side because it won't have really that much space to show the tiny interactions. So yeah, I first build that out on the desktop version and then adjusted it to look a little better on mobile as well.
Cool. Interesting. So what are we doing now? We're adding the, let me see. Wait, they're videos?
Yeah, those are, I made them in Blender and rendered out in them in a JPG sequence, PNG sequence, and I then compiled it in After Effects to make a video out of it, and I just uploaded it.
Damn, Chimney, you really did the most. I love it. That is so cool.
I have a question about those videos. Why did you decide to render it as a image sequence and then build again the video in After Effects versus just rendering the video with transparent background straight from Blender and just use that. Any difference between those two approaches that we should be aware of?
Yeah, I think I think we can do that as well in Blender as well. But when you see the actual video here, I have a little glow behind it, so that I added in After Effects, which was much easier. So if I try to do the same in inside Blender, so it will kind of affect the lighting and all the other shades, lighting, and shiny stuff on the diamond. So I rendered out the JPG files and then made a video inside After Effects, and then I put a small circle with blur radius on it to give a background depth and those blurry background stuff. And yeah, for that reason I yeah. So yeah, that was the reason I did that.
Oh, got it.
That is so cool. I really want to learn more 3D. It's so awesome. I wonder if we should put music or something. Everybody submit 2 songs. That's a good idea. Yeah, somebody needs to do a little Spotify playlist for the Webflow party, and we can all add stuff there. Rahul says, I've had a video-based render once and 15 hours in it failed. So I lost everything by rendering them as images. You can salvage a lot of the frames if renders fail. Oh my God, I would literally flip out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's a good idea for saving your work, because if it just renders a video and it fails, then you're screwed.
Yeah, no, I would literally throw my computer out the window.
Yeah. So how do you resume your render? Like you lost everything if you do that, but if you render as images, then let's say you render 50%. How do you continue the other 50%? How do you know where exactly to resume your render?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, when I put renders on images, so if you are actively viewing those renders, you will kind of see how many frames that are being done, and those will be saved inside a folder. So even if the renders get disturbed in the middle and it crashes, so if you go to the folder, you will have the frames. Let's say you are building an animation for 60 seconds and the animation crashed after 30 seconds. So then when you visit to the folder, you will actually have 30 frames. I mean, so that will be 30 PNG sequence in there. So then what you can do is, then again you can move on to Blender and put the timeline at 30 frame and click render animation again. So it will kind of pick it from that part, or you can adjust the timeline to just from 30 to another 60 frame. So it will just render 30 frames, not the whole animation again.
No.
So that is,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I use that to whenever it breaks.
Nice. I feel like I had a little playlist here on YouTube that was a nice, like chill, like house music.
Since we're talking about 3D, I don't know if you guys heard about it, but Tino from Edgar Allan, he's creating a community on Discord to talk about 3D and Webflow, like how to create 3D stuff, not only rendering a 3D video, but creating actual 3D stuff and embedding inside a Webflow website. So this community is all about that. So if you guys are interested into 3D, then I'll send the link here on the chat.
Yeah, he actually told me that he wanted to collaborate on something for that. So we'll see how we can incorporate more of that here too.
Oh yeah,
Like with his stuff. It would be very cool.
Yeah, I also actually talked with Tino. I messaged him on Twitter, and I was sending my portfolio, and I came to know that he is also into 3D. So I sent him my portfolio, and then yeah, later we had a chat, and then he invited me to the Discord server as well. So I'm in there as well.
Cool. Can we open Spotify playlists here? Oh, there's one already. Yay! Oh, okay, we can't play music. Okay, cool. For the people on YouTube and whoever's going to see this stream in the future, this is a live build, which is why we're kind of like taking it easy and not like talking all the time. So it's more to see his process. Tino makes such good renders. Like they're so beautiful. It's crazy how you can build this so fast. Honestly, like look at all those elements already there.
Now I'm kind of building the door part on this door, which gradually opens. So I'm laying out that. The flexbox. Then
Bree, tell us more about Bruno 3JS class. I'm so curious about it.
Hey guys. Yeah, I was like really nervous about buying it because I said I was going to stop buying online courses because I kind of have an addiction. I think we can all relate there.
Yeah.
And I was like, no more, Brianna. And then it went on sale and I was like, oh my God. And so, yeah, I did it. And I'm so happy I did it. Like, Bruno is such a fantastic teacher. It's unreal. Like, that's what makes it enjoyable. Like, he really lays things out. He has the lessons at the bottom so you can read along with what he's doing. And, like, it's just been such a great experience. I made a cube today, and I was so excited. So, yes, everyone should join. You'll start learning small things. And, yes, but you want to make sure you know a little bit of JavaScript going in so you won't get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So that's really important. That's something I would highly recommend is make sure you know JavaScript going in or you'll kind of be really lost.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a course to learn how to code with 3GS, right? So you need to know the basics first. I grabbed them up for myself like some time ago, the same course. It's incredible. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff, a lot of different concepts around coding. So make sure that you're comfortable coding.
Yes, 100%. Make sure you understand coding. So it's really not no code friendly, but I'm intrigued to see how I can incorporate Webflow with 3JS and expanding my knowledge. So
Yeah.
Brianna, you're gonna literally kill it. In a year, you're going to be like
Superhuman.
superhuman for real.
That's the goal. It's already been 6 months and I've gotten so far. So I'm just like, wow, just imagine what happens a year from now. So
For real.
vanilla JavaScript, Danny. I just know vanilla. I'm not like an expert. I built like a few games and some tools and it was well enough for me.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, I know that you can use. I don't know if you guys know about Spline, which is very friendly to people starting with 3D. It's really good, and they have obviously you need to know how to code, but they have a JavaScript package that you can use to load the scenes you create in Spline straight into 3GS. So the whole process of creating a scene and configuring materials and etc. and all of that, you can bypass all of that if you use Spline, build your scene there, and just use the code to their package to load that Spline scene into your 3GS code.
Yeah, that's been a goal of mine because I saw that in Spline they gave you the React, all those different files. So I was like, okay, I have to know 3JS at this point. So that was a huge reason why I also bought the course because I hit a roadblock with Spline. I was like, I want to do a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm trying to make that work with scroll-based interactions. It's the only thing that their package doesn't include. Like you can trigger events with JavaScript, their events that will trigger animations that you create in Spline. The only thing that's not included there is the scroll wheel interaction event. So still trying to figure out how we can do that as well.
So that door is divided in 2 blocks.
Yeah, I have an outer rack that I have given a radius, and inside it I have 2 doors that contains the image. So what I'm gonna do with it is, so I'm gonna give it 3D transforms to give it the origin. So this part we have here, and other I will have it here. So it actually works as a hinge.
So when it opens like it had hinges on the ends.
Yeah. So if I have to show it, you can see.
Yeah. Very cool. You know, it's just one thing to know how to develop. And then another thing is to have creativity like you know, because you can know how to drop 1,000 elements inside of a page, but thinking about that solution with that image, with the shadow, like all of that, it's just all creativity, you know?
Yes.
My God, I love it. Now you're giving me ideas for a project I'm working on. Emilia, is it the first time you're here? Oh, welcome. That's so awesome. I love it. Everybody is talking Hindu in the chat YouTube. They've taken over.
Okay, I like those. every chat is from my friend. So they are all my friends here, and they are talking with. Yeah,
What are they saying?
yeah, they are just talking, in our local language, Odia. Yeah, so they are just having fun with me.
Guys, this was such a good week. I'm so happy that this week was, I had one fire that I had to put out, but everything worked out. But thankfully it was a good week. How was you guys this week? I mean, Diego, obviously you had a great week.
Yeah. Well, I closed 2 retainer agreements this week. My first 2.
Nice. So talk to me about that. What is the retainer of?
Well, basically, for one of the clients, it's one that I'm already working on a website for this client, and they have like a huge list of other websites. It's like a big company with multiple firms. They need a website for each one of those firms, but they don't have the designs yet. They might like build a landing page first and add more pages. So it's an ongoing work there. So my goal for this retainer is help them with this, like specifically doing Webflow build. And the other retainer is a website that already exists on Webflow, and I'm mostly doing like maintenance work, adding new pages, new sections, configuring CMS, maybe adding some small interactions, those things. So that stuff in general. But it's good. Like retainer gives you some stability, right? You know how much you're gonna make with these retainers every month, and at least for a specific amount of months, you know that you're gonna have that money at least for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we're trying to do also on our agency, like trying to find a way to add that recurring revenue. But I don't love like web retainers, you know what I mean? Unless they're like full landing page builds. So we'll see what comes up, but I'm so happy for you. Like, wow. I feel like you're blowing up, Diego. Everybody here that watches this tutorial hired Diego. Well, and everybody else here, but
yeah,
let's celebrate Diego this week.
Thanks.
Well, and Chimney. Well, Chimney can't even like hold it anymore because he has so many requests.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Is Brian on YouTube and here? I think. Yeah. Brian, you're the best. Okay, Diego says, Ivan says, Spline has a native interaction called scroll wheel. You can configure different states for objects, camera, etc. using Spline and that scroll wheel event. What I'm trying to figure out is how to load a Spline scene using their end. Oh my God, this is big.
Yeah, because I wasn't replying Ivan. He was talking about Spline in JavaScript. Sorry, that's not the best place to talk about code. I know.
Well, we want to learn.
Melissa's brain almost just exploded.
Yeah. Yeah, she stopped when she saw NPM. What is that? Yeah, what the heck is that?
I do have to say the one thing I've been doing is every time I use the icons, I just copy the SVG code directly from Figma or Sketch or XD, put it in the embed, and I change the color information from whatever hex is to current color, and it's all one word, and the C in color is capitalized. So now you can actually edit the color via the text editor inside of Webflow, and you can size it with using text as well. So you can animate it. So you don't have to have like multiple different icons to create a color or size.
Yeah, nice. I love this community because like each one of you guys has just like an expertise, and I'm just like here absorbing it all. Like I would have never gotten into 3D if it wasn't for Brianna inspiring me. And obviously, you know, Diego and Tino and like all of you guys that have been doing this. It's so cool.
Yeah. Like everybody, I saw everyone doing it, and I was like, okay, like, well, not everyone, it's a handful of us, but there's so many opportunities out here, and it's just, you can be so creative with this. So
Oof.
it opens up a lot for us.
Yeah, I know. I honestly, like, I was never like a community person. I would just lurk in the back, even if you don't believe it. But it's just so cool to see like now, like living the experience of being in a community, like how cool it is, you know, to see everybody inspiring each other. So where are we now?
When the door opens, so what we get to see here is I'm building it.
Cool.
I have an whole image, and then I made clouds, the other image top of it, giving a Z index to it, and then I have other text saying thank you in the background. So now I have two sections.
Mm-hmm. I want to see when you start adding animation. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I think after doing the neighbor, I will go into the animation part.
Yeah, John from oh, John, yeah, I remember you on the Webflow the Webflow party community Webflow stream. So happy you're here. I won't put you on the spot, but I just wanted to say hi. Chimney, you have to teach us how to use Blender. Would you be up for it?
Yep, I would be up for it.
That would be so cool. Wouldn't it be cool, guys, to do like I know we do the Webflow parties, but maybe we should try to do like a Webflow party where like we're all literally learning at the same time something. You think that would be cool? Or no?
Definitely.
Yeah. I feel like that would be cool because like here I'm like watching him build, but I'm not like doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah, like a little lesson. Exactly. Like if we were in school, literally. What would we be learning? I don't know. Vote. What do you guys want? Vote on the chat. One for learning interactive 3D. Okay. I would love to learn more GSAP. Who's the OG here on GSAP? Like more GSAP, I would love to learn. Rahul says, I wonder. Oh, sorry, who was going to answer?
Oh, I'm definitely not the OG, but I'm trying to actively learn GSAP right now. So I will
Mhm.
be going through it with you.
Let's freaking do it, Skylar.
Let's do it.
Oh, and then also we can tell Tim maybe he would want to show us some. I know that he's also learning.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Brian just said I need to learn to do other things with my blender besides margaritas. How funny. Oh, Abby here on YouTube, he says that he has experience. Abby, let's talk so we can do a little class too. I don't know, guys, like literally with all the events that we have, like I think we're gonna have events from now until December planned out. Yeah, I know. The speed that he's building this is so crazy. Can we do a holiday party? Yes, and we can wear hats and Christmas colored clothes. And we can drink coquito. Coquito is like a I think Puerto Rican drink. It's kind of like eggnog. So it's sweet, milky, and it really turns you up. Yes, coquito. Christmas sweaters. Yes, let's plan. Oh my God, guys, we should also do a Halloween party and we can all get dressed.
I'm for this because I have no one else to do this with. So if anyone else is down, let's all hang out.
Yes, let's do it. We can do like a contest. Learning wigs for Halloween. And Thanksgiving, but like, what are we gonna do in Thanksgiving? Each one eats their own food. Yo, we don't celebrate Halloween. I have no costumes. What do you mean? You have to be creative.
Yeah, you can make a costume.
Yeah. Now Georgiana, knowing Georgiana, she'll come like, I came as a web developer.
That's a good one though. Someone should come up with Webflow to see if that can work out.
Yeah. Okay, let's see Ben's idea. He's like, yo, Melissa does a live turkey stuffing. Wait, that sounds a little bit sex. Like stuffing a turkey live. I don't think that's a good idea. Okay, so Abby says here, for interaction, GSAP is a must. Webflow does have limitations for more complex animation interaction. I 100% agree. Like I've been using GSAP on a project I'm working on, and it's just been so beautiful. I definitely want to incorporate more GSAP on the Webflow party. Yeah, what the hell are we doing, guys? Like, we need to do more GSAP here.
Yeah, Melissa.
Huh?
Yep. I think I messed something with this build. So if you want, I can do the animation on the previous build that I sent you. So that is I think I got something messed up here. So it is behaving different. Yeah. So I can I can rebuild the animation within this.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
Okay, so I'm deleting all the interactions.
A cook flow with Melissa. You drink a whole bottle of wine live. Can you can do it?
Yeah. So basically, we have those two sections here now.
Mhm.
So yeah, the first container of the first section is having a 180 viewport height, so that we can add the scroll interaction to this container for 180 viewport height. So that will be responsible for these sections moving on the sideways and and the door opening here. So that will be for it. So on the container, I'm adding it while scrolling in view, and I'm hiding those interactions on our phone landscape and phone portrait. So I'll be moving on to animation and delete. Oh yeah, hero. Hero's good. So when we scroll down, I want these three lines to this the first and the last one to move towards left, and the middle one to move towards the right. So I would take the so these are the three rows that have my content inside them. So I'm going to take the move and another one. I will be applying just to the element because they all have the same classes and they all be moving in the same direction. So I want them to move in a different direction. So I'm going to put three custom on each one. So move and then opacity and then again move and then again opacity and then on this one as well. Move. Yeah. So I don't want them to start immediately. So I want them to bit it a little later when we have enough scroll. So I want to take them to 36% of the. And I want to have this in 36. Yeah, so it starts in the beginning. I'm going to give them 0 opacity of 100%. So this stays as it is. And, so I want this to move a bit to right. So that will be 60 here. And this one to be on other side. So I'll give it a minus 60 here. This first side. And I will give it 60 here. Yeah, so when you scroll down, I will start at 36. So when you scroll, now they start sliding. So have it here now. And then with the door opening, I'm going to put it here. Scale and opacity. With scale, I'm just going to keep it 1 here. And opacity at 100 as well. And then when move it to 47%, I want to put them at 4. So it kind of grows bigger. And then opacity at 100 as well. And I want my doors to start rotating. Okay. Why I have 0 degree? Also, just like the, when we are at 47%, I want them. Degree here.
Cool.
Minus 90. And now, so here when we are at 47% of the scroll, it is exactly in the middle. So from now, I want it to move a lot faster and scale a lot faster. So I would just duplicate it and move it from 53% and then just scale a bit larger, so maybe 20%. So it really moves out of the screen. Opacity would be 0% here. So you can see when you scroll at 47%, it is at the center, but now when you scroll, it really moves out of the screen. So it isn't anymore in our screen. So now you can see what are the stuffs inside the other section. And I want the sphere globe also to move with it. So when this and move opacity, scale. So I want it to be 1 at the beginning and 100 at the beginning, but at 47, I want to scale it a lot bigger, maybe 4. It is kind of it is taking the full screen. But now I want to reduce the opacity here. So that's 47. Opacity, I want it to be 0. So that way, we're going to have it and it fades out. So I want opacity 100. So now everything is out of our way. Then we are opening.
Cool.
Yeah, and now once you get, I want to dissolve these paragraphs as well. So I'm going to put them as well. Yeah. So at 36% has to. So now we are done with this scroll animation here, and we just want to make this thing appear under that. But the problem we have here is the section one. The first section is of the height viewport 180 viewport height, and the other one as well with 300 viewport height. And I want this to go behind this. So when we scroll down, when the door opens, I want the the 3D figure to be present itself before the door opens. So I will kind of give a negative margin to the hero section to bring it top to the top. So minus VTEM. So now that we have when the door opens, so we'll have the 3D figure in the spot when we want it. And I have given it a sticky position here, so it kind of sticks to the container. The container has a 300 viewport height, and the thank you wrap has a sticky position to it with a negative 3. Let's make it 0, and it will kind of have a more height gap between the section, the container and itself. So I want to reduce the gap margin. So I'll kind of give it minus 3 EM here. So it will kind of move a little bit upward. So it will fit. It will have a good fit in the screen. Yeah. And now I want it to disappear when we scroll. So in this part, we can see those two sections are overlapping, and it isn't looking good. So I want this thing to only appear when we are when the animation of the first section completes, and then only we want the figure to appear. So I'm going to give the container another scroll animation, but this is just to make the figure visible and invisible. So while scrolling, again I'm to remove the phone landscape and portrait, create scroll animation, and then animation. So I'm going to it here. Opacity 0. I want to hide it 25%, and then 200 and 35%. So now you will have now you can see when we scroll down, and just when the door opens, we can see the figure coming in, and when we scroll down, everything is at full opacity, and you can scroll down, and as you have a sticky position here, it will kind of stain the face of the website until you scroll down to the section.
Oh no, his connection fell through just at the end. Damn. Let's wait. He'll be right back. That's so cool how he built that. I feel like now I just want to like go on Webflow and start building stuff. Wow. Samir, is it the first time you've been here?
Yes.
Nice. How did you find us?
Very good. Yeah. Thanks.
How did you find the Webflow party? On Twitter?
Yes.
That's cool. Well, welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, let's go back to Chimney.
Yeah. So now that we have when you scroll, these three rows move in that direction, and the block grows also with the door, and we have a rotation to the door hinges, and when the the first animation finishes, the other one loads, and when you scroll down, it gets to the full opacity. Similar happens when you scroll up, it dissolves from 100 to 0, and just when the animation starts of the first section, the second animation dissolves. So yeah.
Beautiful. So pretty cool. I love it.
That is actually the same animation I had on the real site.
So good. Oops, sorry if I messed up YouTube. That is beautiful. Well, guys, there you have it. That was the build. Thank you so much, Chimney. That was amazing. I feel like everybody, got a bunch of tips here. We can all rewatch it. Obviously, I didn't pay as much attention as I wanted, but it's really, really cool how you build it. So thank you so much for showing us and taking the time.
Thank you for having me here as well. And sorry about the other bit. I kind of messed in between. And I was kind of paying attention to other stuff, so I think I missed something and it broke the part. But yeah, I did the animation on the previous page.
Yeah, no, it was great. I loved it. Thank you so much, guys. Also, it's a clonable. I don't know if you want to share the link or you want to work on it or whatever you want.
I think now it is done. I think I just wanted to be this part of the clonable, so I will make it available as a clonable.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So if you guys want to clone it, we'll be sharing it soon on Circle, so everybody has it. Cool. Well, thank you so much, guys. We can go ahead and stop the YouTube live stream and then stay for the after party. If anybody wants to have some drinks and talk, we'll stay here.